news we needed. Bitcoin up 5% as Grayscale win their lawsuit versus the SEC. The SEC must now review Grayscale's application for a spot BTF. I'm so excited, guys. Look at the Bitcoin price here moving. The exact move we needed when we were struggling, when we didn't look like we could beat this 4-hourly EMA ribbon. I just did a TA update, and now the news came in, and this is the beauty of the crypto market. The technicals can be against you, but you can get some fundamental news changing the landscape, and this is super exciting. We also have an update on the JOLTS figure. Loads to get through today, guys. If you appreciate this type of content live as and when the data comes out, this is literally just come in. You can see here SEC must review Grayscale's ETF bid. We could be set, guys, for our first Bitcoin spot ETF, and trust me, when this happens, if the Grayscale GBTC fund can officially be converted into a spot ETF, this could be the green light for institutional money to flow into crypto. BlackRock spot ETF could get approved. So many more thereafter, including ARCs, including all the other ones that were filed. This could be a huge turning point for crypto's bear market leading into the next Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin back up at 27.3, a huge candlestick here, moving us to the upside. And this is exactly why you do not time the markets. I was just speaking to some people, the community members in our Discord, Ijaz.uk/Discord and /TG for Telegram, where some people are like, oh, can I time this market? If we're going to fall lower, can I get out and then back in? And I said, guys, do not time this market. If it's your long-term portfolio, you leave it. If you want to add when the price goes down, that's one way to play, but I personally would not be timing this market. And this is an exact textbook reason for exactly why you would not time the market. All the technicals are telling you this is moving to the downside, but you've got to marry in the fundamentals. And news-based headlines like this can easily move the market. So now look at this, guys. Reclaiming the 4-hourly EMA ribbon. Not only that, but this candle brings you back into the daily EMA ribbon as well. This is a really powerful move and exactly the news we needed. Let's look at some of the details now to understand exactly what happened. If you take a look here, you can see the exact judgment that came out. This is the official file that came out. Ordered and adjudged that Grayscale's petition for a review be granted and the commission's order be vacated in accordance with the opinion of the court filed herein this date. Now remember, this is not an approval that they can convert it. It's saying that they win the petition for review. So don't get too excited, but it is a big step. The fact that they're saying go review it means that there's something there that this could get approved this time around. Grayscale Investments, the manager behind world's largest cryptocurrency fund, first applied for its GBTC closed-end fund to be converted into an exchange-traded fund in October 2021. SEC rejected, stating in its decision that the application failed to answer the SEC's question about preventing market manipulation. This has been the go-to kind of rejection that the SEC used. So if the fact that this has now been thrown back in their face is a real problem for Gary Gensler and his attack on crypto, because anytime he was refusing any spot ETF, he was saying, oh yeah, but you haven't solved the issue around market manipulation. That's where they came up with the custody, the route around the market data through the NASDAQ and Coinbase partnership. That's what a lot of the ETFs were submitting as their kind of alternative in order to deal with this market manipulation. Grayscale then filed an appeal against the SEC barely an hour after the regulatory agency rejected his application. In the filing, Grayscale asked the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia to review the SEC's order. Grayscale is a unit of DC Drew Group, which we know, which is also parent company of CoinDesk. The court decision comes after a flurry of large institutions filed applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs, with asset manager BlackRock filing its application in June. BlackRock's filing generated a large amount of optimism. Others like Fidelity have also applied for Bitcoin's ETF. 7 Bitcoin futures ETF have been trading since 2021. The Grayscale product has traded to discount to the underlying asset since February. The discount deepened to a record 50%, guys. You could have got exposure to Bitcoin for 50% cheaper in December after the SEC reiterated its reasons for denying the application. Remember, the whole purpose institutions were buying GBTC was their way to get access to Bitcoin through a safe way. There was no spot ETF. But the promise was always that once they get approval from the SEC, they would convert it to a spot ETF so you get access to the underlying asset. Remember, that's the beauty of a spot ETF. They have to buy some of the $21 billion of Bitcoin to hold, and therefore when you buy a portion of the ETF, you've got the corresponding Bitcoin being held somewhere, in this case by Grayscale. The structure of the fund will largely stay the same, bar a few things. The shares will now be registered with the SEC under the Securities Act Prior to the conversion, GBTC shares were offered for a private placement process, meaning they were initially only available to accredited investors and subject to a 6-month holding. Another alteration to the structure is shares will be uplisted from over-the-counter to the New York Stock Exchange ARCA. The new structure will also allow for redemptions which were not previously allowed. These are the details, guys, but this is what's important. This is what's going to allow people to get in and out of crypto easily. Not you and I. There are exchanges for us to do that. And obviously Gary Gensler's attacking the exchanges as well. But for institutions to get in and out. And that's where we're talking billions. And it's billions and trillions of market cap that's going to move this market. So straight away here, guys, as we are speaking, in the last few hours here, in fact, last hour or so, and in fact, if I go down let me go down a couple of candlesticks, you'll see exactly where this is skyrocketing as I'm recording for you. You can see here in this candlestick alone, 27 billion flown into the market. In this candlestick alone, another 20 billion flown in that 15 minutes into the crypto market. Money's going to come back into this crypto market, and it's going to come in powerfully as this decision starts to proliferate and more people hear about it. Let me know in the comments, guys, how are you feeling about this decision? Are you pumped? Are you excited? This is what we need in the crypto space. We're seeing buoyancy here. Seeing Solana up 7% right now. You've got Cardano moving 4%. Matic powering through at 9%. And just literally an hour ago before this decision, I just posted the TA update and the market was dead. Huge things to worry about. All coins in a bit of pain in terms of some of their unlocks. But now it doesn't matter, right? Just how one decision can change everything. And if you imagine, that is what's going on where we've just been told that there's going to be a review. Can you imagine when finally we get that Bitcoin spot ETF? Can you imagine finally when BlackRock get their ETF, when Grayscale get their ETF, when Fidelity get their ETF, and institutions have plenty of places to on-ramp into crypto? It's going to be huge. And on top of that, I do want to cover off what's going on in the JOLTS reading as well. If you've not seen my tweets and you're not following me on Twitter, at RealJaz1, you're getting all the updates there because this crypto market is moving quick. You want to take a look at this. This will be a JOLTS figure that Jerome Powell will be happy with. Jerome Powell just seen that this come in at 8.8 million new jobs. This is the lowest level since March 2021. It also means that the ratio of openings to every unemployed person has now dropped to 1.51, which is the lowest ratio we've seen since September 2021. Remember, Jerome Powell's whole thing was that he wants to weaken the labor market. You weaken the labor market, you lower some wages, you get a little bit of unemployment, but that's what's going to bring inflation down. If everybody's employed and everybody's commanding high wages, that's going to lead to the wage price spiral, which creates higher prices and longer term lasting inflation. This has been the narrative for the last year. We've been speaking about it to death, but finally we're starting to see this soften, and this could give us some argument to see if the market wants to start pricing in that pause. And you're seeing that. Literally an hour ago when I made my previous video, you guys would have seen that 22% of the market, trying to creep up to 25% almost, 1 in 4 people were expecting a rate hike. That's now dropped back again, and the majority, vast majority of market still here, expecting a pause at the next meeting on September the 20th, which is the next FOMC meeting. But now, market's looking positive, looking nice and green here. Let's see how well Bitcoin can do. I mean, already a 6% move here today. Running into a little bit of, let me show you the structure actually. Let me show it to you here on the weekly so you guys can see exactly what's going on here. You can see we are moving back into our EMA ribbon. And this is going to be the important bit. If we can now, with this news, use it to propel us back above our EMA ribbon, wow, that would have been an almighty coup, and that would have been perfect timing from Grayscale and their win versus the SEC in their lawsuit, because we were in trouble here, guys. Make no mistake about it. We closed below the EMA ribbon, we then doji candled here, we struggled to then regroup here. We were having a weekday today and a weekday yesterday, but then boom, suddenly look how the market changes, and now we got a chance that we can go back above our EMA ribbon, and this would be a really, really powerful move. But the key now is, if we do manage to get that, let's go now and push on past 31.9. That is where we got rejected. Let's push on now from 31.9. The other good news is, I shared with you guys earlier that there was a risk of an M pattern, right, in the charts. If you scroll down here on my Twitter again, you'll see it. This was the M pattern I was worried about. But now that we're bouncing with this big candlestick to the upside, that was when it was red. Now that this has turned into a big green candlestick, we can alleviate this M pattern as well, which is really, really good news for the Bitcoin price action. Of course, please don't FOMO into the markets. Be nice and calm. If you're looking for entries, be nice and patient. Still good pricing out there though, right? And this is what you have to remind yourself of. We are now getting in a better and better position than we were this time last year or 18 months ago. More institutional adoption, better progress in our campaigning against the SEC and getting a spot ETF. More institutions on the brink of getting involved in this crypto market. And the reality is right now, when you look at total here, The total money in crypto is sitting at just over 1 trillion. We've been as high as 3 trillion before with no spot ETF, with very few futures ETFs. Now we've got 7 futures ETFs. We're going to get some spot ETFs very, very soon, plus another halving. We're expecting to eclipse this all-time high of 3 trillion in market cap across crypto. And that's where things are going to get fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy this timely update. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out ijaz.uk/TA if you want to learn all things TA. And I'll see you in the next one.